Hello. Welcome to the stream. Mic is working. Good. Um yeah, it's our art content week. Gonna be making content all week for this game to make it easier for me to figure out what this game is. I was spamming out ideas for things to make, and I'm not like committed to anything on here, but I do feel like if I just start implementing things, I think an idea will come. And I don't have a lot planned for today, but what I would like to do is get the weapon swapping working, get 2 more weapons implemented, weapon 3 and weapon 4, have the weapon UI available so that we can like see what weapons we have, what we're currently holding, so on and so forth. And then I would like to get this hint tile in. And what I'm thinking is it's just a tile. You walk over and it makes a message bubble pop up at the top of the screen, like a thought bubble from the character, or like some sort of narration or something like that, or a tutorial message. I think once I have that, I'm going to call it a good stream and be able to like set myself up to make all the levels I need. Let's get started. So we left off with the active weapon component as a placeholder, basically. It does not actually hold any weapons. We've just kind of, whenever we press 1, we call player.switchWeapon1, and then in the player, switch weapon just switches the weapon to the weapon. It doesn't do anything. Well, I mean, that's half true. It switches the weapon. It does call it the switch weapon function. It's just that the switch weapon function takes in a weapon, swaps to it. That's fine. The inventory should be what's feeding this weapon. So the inventory does not have any weapons in it. The collected weapons array starts with 0. I have 2 weapons. I've implemented a baton. It's just the pistol, but I created a different art for it. And this is the exact same code, except I changed the range. Oh, yeah, it is the exact same code. I changed the range to be very short. Should function like a pistol, or it should function like a baton. It's just the same code. The pistol actually does 2 ray casts, with the idea that it makes it feel a little better to shoot. Anyway, what I'm going to do with the inventory component here, which this is not the inventory component code. There it is. When we create an inventory component, I would like to give the player a free baton and a free pistol, because that's just a FPS staple. You start with the pistol and you start with your desperation weapon. Collected weapons dot append. We need to pass in a weapon. Var wep equals weapon dot new wep dot weapon data equals all right, great, we did it. Wep equals weapon dot new baton. All right, that's easy. These weapons now exist. I also wrote a function like an hour ago. Get weapons. We give it a number 1 through 4, and then if you tell it to give weapon 1, it'll give you the baton if it's in the inventory. It'll give you the pistol if you look for number 2. We're gonna have number 3 and number 4 in just a moment. But let's see if this function works. we need to update the player function here. Switch weapon I. So right now we're just throwing away the I. Match. No, we don't actually need to match. We already did the match in the inventory component. We just need to call get weapons, pass in the I. And this is returning the actual weapon. Get weapons dot I. Nope. I. Var weapons equals that. This is actually returning an array. Oh, sorry. Inventory component dot get weapons. There we go. Now that we have that, we can, instead of swap, okay. We want to get the first weapon from the array. That's going to be weapons.0. If active weapon component dot active weapon equals. Okay, so first, this will either return 1 or 2 weapons. No, that should never happen, actually. Why is this returning an array? That should actually never happen. We can only have 1 weapon in that slot. What we might have is 2. We might have the weapon and then the upgraded weapon, but we just only return the upgraded weapon. Is that true? Maybe there's a world where we want to be able to pull out the regular pistol. If we get the upgraded pistol, but we want to use the regular pistol for some reason, I don't know. That doesn't. Sure. We will return the array. We could have 2 weapons in this slot, so we need to make sure that if we have the upgraded pistol out, we're not pulling. If we already have it out, we're not pulling it out again. So. First of all, we need to know what our existing weapon is. And we actually want the last weapon in the array, not the first weapon, because the first weapon is going to be our unupgraded weapon. So we only have 1 weapon, whatever. But if we have 2 weapons, we want to get the last one first. And that will make this, the stuff that I'm saying will make sense after I've done it. It probably doesn't make sense right now because there's a lot of context in my head that I don't really understand myself. For, okay, weapons, if weapons dot length, no size, is greater than 1. If it's equal to 1, let's check to make sure it's not equal to weapons.0. And if that's so, then let's switch to it. Don't switch to the weapon if we already have the weapon out. Fair. Weapon 0. Okay, and until we have weapons, a case where the weapon size can be greater than 1, we're done. If it's greater than 1, if it's 2, if existing weapon equals weapons.1, then switch to active weapons.0, else elif, no, else Basically, switch to the best weapon we have, unless we already have it out. Then switch to the next best. All right, that's that. There it is. All right. I pressed 2 and immediately crashed. Invalid access to property key name on a base object of type resource. This definitely has a name. Is it because it's a const? Is that why? Does this need to be a var? That can't be why. You telling me there's no such thing as a name? So we have our weapon, and it has a weapon data. And the weapon data in this case is a pistol. Hold on one second. Oh. Okay. We have invalid access to key or property const. Godot. Okay, this can't be null because it's a script. Or is it? The weapon has... Okay, the weapon does have a weapon data. It's the baton. How did we get here? Oh, it's checking. It's gonna fail because this is not path weapons T-res. Is that right? Does this... Did I... Okay, wait a minute. When I created this, did I not associate a script? That's why. Oh, annoying. Save. All right, now it should work. I'm gonna press 2. We just pulled out our pistol. We're still pulling out our pistol. That should not be happening because my pistol's already out. What if I pull out my baton? That's not the right sprite. What if I press... Okay, bug. If I switch a weapon while I'm switching a weapon, it will not ignore that input. I should ignore that input. We'll fix that. But in the meantime, so input handler, if I press player.switchWeapon2, player.switchWeapon2 goes to here. We're calling getWeapons. Let me print weapons. Okay, those are different nodes. That's fine. I'm going to assume that we're always hitting this. No, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Print existing weapon. Okay, these should be the same. If I press the first time I should press 2, it's not the same. That's fine. Yeah, they're not the same. But if I press 2 again, why is the existing weapon not changing? Can I go to this function, please? Oh, we don't actually change the active weapon. Oh, smart. Yeah. What's the point? Why did I invent this function that doesn't do anything? I mean, it just pretends to do things. Oh, okay, that works. Okay, and I can't switch. I'm pressing 2, but nothing's happening. Great. All right, what if I press 2, then 1 really fast? I don't know. What we can do is we can plug into this tween and say callback set switching to false. Bar switching equals false. Actually, is it a problem if I just 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2? Okay, yeah, that is a problem. I don't want that. Var switching equals false. If we're switching, return. Don't do anything. Switching equals true. Switching equals false. All right, there we go. We should no longer be able to mess with our the weapon we're switching to until we finish swapping. Maybe we could do a thing where we queue up. Like if I press 1 2 3 4, I want to end up with the chain gun or whatever weapon 4 is. Because if I just press 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, I don't know. That might be something that's out of scope for the game jam. All right, I want to test that this weapon works because I haven't actually used it before. Okay, that's a good sign. Can I hit people at long range? And I'm dead. I am not entirely sure if that is working correctly because the baton sprite is a lot bigger than the pistol sprite. And I don't know. You should be seeing the hand and stuff. I don't think I wrote function. I wrote in the script here, script sprite size, but I don't think I'm actually using that variable. Yeah, I'm not using that variable. So when we swap weapons, we're changing the weapon sprite, but we're not changing the weapon sprite size. I want to do it down here, yeah. Weapon sprite dot sprite frames dot size scale. Weapon sprite dot size scale equals active weapon dot weapon data dot sprite size. Yeah. That's not a real thing. This might need to be a float. No, 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 no. This isn't scale. Scale is not correct. No, 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 no. Because that's gonna make the sprite scale and size. I want to set how many pixels large the sprite is. Skew, transform. There's definitely a way to do this. I'm not wrong. Face sprite. Because I definitely had to specify, like, when I was setting this up, how many frames. Hold on 1 second. Excuse me. Okay, I spaced out. I definitely specified how big each cell was somewhere in this code. But where did I do that? Yeah, like I think these are 32 by 32, but how does the Sprite 2D know that they're 32 by 32? Maybe, I don't, that's very confusing. Maybe it doesn't. In which case, I can do anything. I can do any resolution, and then this will just automatically be fine as long as it's 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as it's 5 cells horizontally, it'll work? Question mark? That can't be right. How is this sprite frame getting regenerated? That's probably the sprite frame. We have a sprite frame. Are we just recycling this and it's magically figuring it out? This is using ammo. Oh, okay. That's not right. Does recycling this work? Let me try setting this somewhere dumb. Oh, yeah, no, that doesn't work. Okay, yeah, no, it's absolutely not the whole sprite. That's just the tip. How do I adjust the sprite frames, though? Because the sprite frames I've just been lazily recycling this. But maybe I should just be rebuilding the sprite frames every time. Making the sprite frames in code is annoying. But what I could do, couldn't I just specify H frames and V frames? And then the I don't know. I think I've done this before in code. I've done this before. So okay, if the sprite frames exist, then we need to lower the pistol first. Else, we just snap it down off screen. Then we switch to the new weapon. We need to set the sprite frames. So this is not quite correct. We need to var sprite frames equals sprite frames dot new size okay, and we know that there's always going to be 5 horizontal frames. We can therefore do a for loop for I in range H V frames for Y in V frames for X in range H frames. And then we set the sprite frame dot, oh geez, add animation, add frame. I think add frame is the function, but first we need to add animation. Default. Add frame, default. Texture 2D is how did I do this? Godot generate sprite frame from sprite sheet animated sprite 2D. Okay. Yeah, it was not helpful. Like, I've done this code before. I would just go into the last game and copy paste the code if I could. It was an Atlas texture. That's right. It wasn't a sprite frame. Oh no, it was a sprite frame. But I'd use an Atlas texture to get a piece of the sprite sheet. Yes. That's right. That's right. That's right. It's coming back to me. Var atlas equals atlas texture dot new. Shoot. Wow. Never seen that happen before, and you didn't get to see it, but Windows just froze for a second in a really weird way. Atlas.atlas is sheets. What? What is this? Sheets is an array. Okay, no, I have a sprite. How did I do this? Can this have had the code? atlas.atlas is equal to the selected texture. The selected texture, I can get that right now. New weapon dot weapon data dot sprite load. All right, now we have the atlas. Atlas dot region. Come on, autocomplete. What function do I want? Draw rect? Atlas.region is a rect to, okay. From X is going to be X times size, Y times size, width and height are size. Okay. Oh, and then we just add the frame. Perfect. Do I need the default? All right. And then we want to add one more frame because otherwise, well, if I'll demonstrate why. Oh, instant crash. Okay, great. Invalid access to property or key sprite on the pistol because it's called sprite path, not sprite. Whoops. Let's just pretend that I did that correctly the first time. Let's go. No, that shouldn't have worked. Oh, is it because I'm not using the sprite frames? Oh, because I never set that. Right. Yeah, that's why. We create the sprite frames and then we throw them away because we don't care. All right, that's not the problem I was expecting to have. Hold on one second. Sprite frames.loop. Oh, no. Set animation loop default false. Please do not loop. one play per shot. Yeah, that's the problem because it stops at the last frame. And the only way I know how to fix that is to just add another frame. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Take this code. This feels like core code. I should have this in a handy dandy library that I use for all my games from now on. 0 times size, 0 times size. There we go. That should just work. TM. Yeah, okay, let's pull this out. All right, well, I bet that's the right size, but it is not in the right position. So let's try, just out of curiosity, what if we do this? Okay, and our hand should go over there. That's not right. Negative 200. There we go. Okay, and then wow. Okay. Maybe we can write some sort of logic that's like minus 64 minus size. Doesn't feel okay. So I think 1, 2. There's 3 fingers here, and if I switch, this will only go up to 2 fingers. Okay, so this is not quite correct, but we're on the right track. So I do actually want like 64 minus size here as well. Other way. I meant the other way. I'm okay with this, but I'm not okay with this. So something has to be done. Minus 64 plus size. There we go. This could just be a world where I have an if statement here that's like, if the size is 32, or if the size is 64, go here. If the size is if the size is whatever, sure. But if the size is if var tween, if create tween, if size is 128, then we want to tween the property to be somewhere else. We want the tween the property to be somewhere else. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, tween property. Oh, wait. Negative 40. I meant 40. There we go. Oh, being shot at. Nice. All right. I could futz with that, but overall, the logic is there. We should have a much easier time from this point on adding new weapons, because this function should be flexible. The one thing I will do, we will have the player... no, we won't have the player. What I would like to do is, on the start of the game, call switch weapon to weapon 2. Because this sprite right here is different from this sprite. Those are different. I don't want that to... I don't want that. So... I don't need this. Actually, I don't need this at all. Control weapon sprite container dot weapon sprite. No. Player dot switch weapon 2. That should do it. Cannot call play on a null value. Okay, we should check before we try to shoot. Does weapon exist? If weapon. You can't shoot a weapon if you don't have a weapon. That's just a rule. It's not, that's nothing. It doesn't exist. Maybe we can just skip this else. Because that should only happen at the beginning of the game. Weapon sprite, that sprite frames. Oh, if the weapon sprite doesn't exist. When are we creating this weapon sprite? Should do it up here. Weapon sprite equals animated sprite 2d.new. All right. Curiously, that is the pistol. Oh, it's very broken. I see. It's not right. Okay, instead of doing this here, let's do it here. Switch weapon. If we're switching, don't do anything else. If there's no weapon sprite, then make one. This should be fine. Because we're setting the sprite frames here, and we're defining entirely new everything for it. So we should be good. Do I have to add this? I probably have to add this as a child. That's not right. What am I doing? It was working before and then I ruined it. Damn it. There's an existing sprite here. There's an existing sprite. I should be recycling that. This out of here. And it's already a child, so I don't need to add it. What do you mean? Trying to assign value of type control to variable. This is not a control. Oh, I'm sorry. It is a control. Oh, come on. I mean, it works now. But why didn't it swap before the game started? Come on. I called this function. Is it not called switch weapon? I called something else in the player. Oh, I have to pass in the weapon, not two. What do I want? I want the inventory handler. Inventory component. Get weapons too. That's what I want. Invalid access of index 0 on a base object of type array weapon. Why is that invalid? Like, that should be valid. That should be quite valid, actually. So when I call switch weapons... Oh, wait, no. No, I was doing it right. Oh, wait, no, hold on. That was right. Switch weapon to 2. Why is this a variant? It should be an int. So I don't get confused. Okay. Stop. Run. Not a weapon. No weapon out. How do I... Why isn't this being called? Player.switchWeapon2, which should call this function. Print, you called me. So as soon as everything starts, it's not getting called. All right. Okay. So we are calling this. Are we calling player.switchWeapon? Okay, we are getting here. Okay. Oh, this isn't getting called. What is weapons.size at this moment? Oh, wait a minute. Is the inventory component waiting? It is waiting. Oh, we should wait until the inventory component is ready before we proceed. I thought this was not waiting for the player to be done. Why are we waiting? There's no reason to wait. We're not relying on the player for anything. Let me just quietly not wait. Okay. It would be nice to make that faster. Okay. It would be nice to make the first one faster. Oh, we were probably waiting because this get parent. I mean, we can just move this down. Things should still work. Okay, new rule. If we don't have a weapon, Just swap immediately. Don't tween. We should just be skipping those. No. We didn't skip that. But is this ever not true? If we don't have an active weapon, we can do this. Else, just immediately snap to it. Okay, that's much better. Let's take this and move it down. Alrighty. Does that affect anything? No, everything still works. I can just bring this down below the tween. And then at this point we can say, if we have an active weapon, do the tween. Else, just snap it directly into place. Who cares? Just, yeah, it looks like that still works. If active weapon. Else weapon sprite dot position equals 032. Equals vector 2i, nope, vector 2. There we go, and we're done. Instantly pull that weapon out. Why is that not right? Negative 32. All right, cool. A plus. Before we continue, I would like to fix the baton shooting bullets. That is an ammo component issue. So I want there to be basically a different ammo for each weapon. And we can say weapon 1, baton doesn't use ammo. So we'll just always return true. So instead of ammo, maybe we have a this is like current ammo, but we need to be able to track other ammos that we have in our inventory. Current ammo. And then we'll have a dictionary of like ammos. Wait a minute, I have a max ammo number? But that's definitely not being respected. Hold on one second. It might just be better to refactor this completely. So yeah, let's refactor this. Okay, so instead of just ammo, let's have var bullets, var max bullets, var ammo 2, var shells. I don't know. We want to track what is our active ammo. No, this can be an enum. What? Enum active equals bullets ammo 2 shells. Okay, so maybe this should actually be an array. Yeah, let's make this all an array. We still need to update. Oh, but we can't do this set function on an array. I've run into that problem before. Oh. So we just move it all into this use ammo function. Gain ammo and use ammo. Or we call update UI every time we gain ammo or use ammo. Okay. Okay. This is all the information we need. We'll scrap this. We don't need that anymore. We still need this UILM. We're gonna set our starting ammo to 0, 0, 0. Starting ammo is that. this needs to take in an enum ammo type. This also needs to take in an ammo type. Maybe this could be ammo type. Okay. Oops. Okay. Ammo type not found. Current ammo type. Okay. So all we need to do now is specify a function. Do we need to specify a function? Maybe we don't need it. No, we do need to specify a function to set active ammo type, current ammo type. Maybe we should only be allowed to use ammo from the current ammo type. Hold on. Okay. Let's have an ammo type of none. And then we need to have that ready to go because I need to be able to set the ammo type to baton. And then we'll just hard code. If we're using the baton, never swing, never use ammo. So I've got has ammo, I've got set ammo type, I've got use ammo, which should function the same as before, and everything should be updated in the UI. I don't have gain ammo. Maybe this shouldn't have a default. Okay, there we go. Now we just need to make everything connect to this new reality. So bullets have an ammo component. Bullets now also need to var, well, they don't actually need to. We have the ammo component dot add ammo dot bullets 8. Okay, so bullets should now be functional. We don't need to worry about anything else here. I do need the pistol to use things correctly. This is no longer a function that works. Has ammo, should default to the active weapon type here. So let me go back. Active weapon. Where are we? When we switch a weapon, we also need to switch to the ammo type of that weapon. So all weapons need to have an ammo type now. Okay, I'll just copy that. Let me go to the pistol. Okay, great. Back to the active weapon component. Where are we getting the ammo component? We could just not touch this code here, but go to the ammo component and say, if we are using the current ammo type equals then just return true. We always have ammo. And likewise, if we're using ammo and we don't have an ammo type, just return true. We did it. Oh, actually, we don't return anything here. Back to the active weapon component. We don't have to touch this function if we make sure that when we switch weapons, we set the ammo component to the correct value. And that is easily done. We can do that here at the bottom. Set ammo type equal to new weapon dot weapon data dot ammo type. Yeah. We should be good. If I switch to the baton, oh, we got to do one more. Oh no, that did update. Okay. Oh, I see. Because we're doing it here after the tween. Let's do it before the tween. In fact, let's do it before the sprite frames. Perfect. All right, now we can swing to our heart's content. And we still have 17 bullets. No, we have 25 bullets. That's fine. Can we pick up these bullets while we don't have... Yeah, we can. It's all good. This still uses ammo as expected. And if we add weapons 3 and 4, they should also use weapon ammo as expected. We should be able to bonk people in the head with this now forever. asking. How about now? Let's implement weapons 3 and 4. I wanted one of these weapons to be a shotgun. I think weapon 4 was going to be a shotgun, and weapon 3 is going to be grenades. Maybe that doesn't make sense. Maybe those should be swapped. Do I need to do anything else? I feel like there was something else I was supposed to do before getting going. Like, I feel like... No, don't worry about it. New weapon time. Resource, we're going to call it the grenade. Add a new script, we're going to call it the grenade. We're going to make sure that we attach that script. And then we're going to take an existing template and we're going to... I have been wondering, can I do inheritance on resources? I don't think I can because there's no initializer. I could be wrong though. There could be an initializer. If there's an init function that gets called in resources, I could totally just inherit and be a lot happier. Let me look that up. That should be fine. Let me test this. It occurs to me I can just test this. Oh, okay, exciting. Why don't we try inheritance? Oh, highly neg. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We need to create a new object. Weapon resource. And then I would like this to inherit like so. And then we take all of these variables and we put them in here. And because this is a class name, now we can use Godot's autocomplete to help us out. Damn it. Really? Oh, what if I make them abstract? You cannot change or override a parent class's const value in a child because constants by definition store values that are unchangeable. Okay, I want the parent to have a const value but not define it because I don't want, like, use a static var and override a static func. Use a var with the export annotation. Set the value in init. You can use a non-constant var and then set aside within the init. That's I could do that. The problem is the whole point of a constant is it's like super optimized. And vars are not optimized. That's the reason I'm using const. Otherwise, they would have just been vars to begin with. Godot inherit const override. So it's completely pointless to do this because the only abstract thing I'd be adding is this one function, shoot. I was hoping that I could add all these constants here. And then I'd be able to get access to them through the editor whenever my brain is running out of brain juice. And I just can't remember what the variable is called. Works with functions. Maybe that's enough for your use case. I could do that. I just think there's a... Never mind. Never mind. Just get this out of here. Pretend this never happened. There's a world where we could have done this. But this is not that world. We just need to remember to always have an ammo type. Why is this complaining about? No, there's definitely a grenade in there. It's ammo 2. Right. I would like this to be the pistol. And instead of all this, print dummy shoot return cooldown for now. What we're going to do is we're going to implement a new item. This should be super easy. We just take an existing item, weapon.scene. Really? I have this already? What is this going on in here? Why do I have this? What is weapon? Why do I have a weapon scene, but I'm not using it? What? We should have an item scene, and I can define an item to where if I pick it up, it will give me the weapon. It will create a weapon and then give it to me. That should be easy. But like, where's my item scene? Where's the scene? Where are my, what is defining bullets? These exist. Where are they coming from? Level loader, what are you doing? How are you giving me bullets? Okay, so we're creating an item, a packed item.instantiate. Packed items are item. Okay, that exists. It's an entity. Got it. Where's weapon coming from? Why did I define this and then never use it? Am I crazy? Whatever. We have the solution. We're going to go ahead and define a new entity. Oh, IO fault. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Before we add it here into the level loader, we have to create a script. And to make that happen, super easy. We just go ahead and click that, click the buttons. Grenades. Save. Why did I put it in there? Yes. We'll create a new script. Grenades. Frump. This is a little bit of a headache, but whatever. We have a very simple little setup here. Sprite path, we got to set a sprite. And then we have to set up pickup audio. And then on stepped on, we get the weapon component and we add grenades to it. Do we need to establish inventory component? Get weapons. We could do get weapons slot 3 and say, do we have grenades? If so, don't give me a grenades again. Else, give me grenades again. Otherwise, we could just grab the collected weapon. Should I define a function here to add weapons? I probably should. Yeah. It's going to be a super simple function, but I should do it. Weapon. Collected. Weapons.append wep. All right. We'll do that because in the future we may want to have, oh no, we absolutely do want to do that because in the future we want to have the UI update every time we get a weapon. So yeah, we'll do that coming soon. For now, grenades, all you're going to do is get the inventory component, add weapon, grenade. Right. If inventory component dot get weapons, nope, 3 if we don't have anything in that slot, then we should add a weapon. Var wep equals weapon dot new weapon dot weapon data equals wait for it. We're going to take the grenade data, make it so, then we're going to add this weapon that we just invented whole cloth, and we're done. Great. We also need to get the ammo component. I've done this code already. Okay, here's a grenade. If you don't have grenades, congrats, you have grenades now. Also, here's 4 of them. Have fun. Great. We are almost done. We just need to put this on the map somewhere for our player to find. And to do that, I need to update the mapping jammer, whatever. Where is it? World scene. Level 2? Oh, the levels. They're in the levels. Yeah, no, that makes sense. The levels are in the levels. We have an entity data, and there's 6 tiles, and I need there to be more than 6 tiles. So we need to pick a tile. Let's go to the right. Let me resize this in GIMP because I have it open, ready to go. Canvas size 64. Resize, save. Oh, it's actually ready to export, like right now. So if I do that, does it immediately update? Yeah, it does, but I haven't saved it yet. So give me a second so that I don't like accidentally not save and then lose work. Ugh. There we go. Yes. Great. We're doing it. We need to make that tile a thing that I can click on. That was easy. Now we can just add it, but we're not done. We need to go to the level loader and say, hey, level loader, fun fact. Three zero grenade. Oh, and then we actually need to make that a thing. I don't know what all this is. I'm just going to trust that that's correct. But this needs to be grenades. .tres.tres. 2 treses. All right. Oops. Okay, there we go. We're done. Let's go to level 1. Let's add this new thing we just invented that doesn't have a sprite yet. Let's put it here. It's there, trust me. It exists. If we walk over it, it looks like a key. That's totally fine. It does not switch to that weapon. I also don't... Oh, I can't switch to that weapon because I never actually bound that key. FPS weapon 3. Let's just do 4 while we're at it. The gang's all here. Let's go ahead and go to our input handler because we just invented keys the input handler needs to know about. Or I mean, maybe it doesn't need to know about it. We can just set ourselves up for failure. There we go. Now if I press the 3 key, nothing happens, but, oh, you called me, but now that should work. This should work. Why isn't this working? Oh, I know why it's not working. I know why it's not working because we never told the game, we never told the component, where's the inventory component, what slot 3 means. Here's slot 3. I think it's grenade. Let me just go check that. Yeah, it's called grenade. Okay, that should do it. Now, if we press 3, nothing. But if we pick up this grenade that's shaped like a key, there it is. That's a grenade, trust me. If I click, it's just going to say dummy shoot. It's still going to use ammo? That makes sense, but okay. We need to define what shooting the grenade means. This is going to be a little bit of a headache. The shotgun, not going to be a headache because it's just a pistol, but we're just going to shoot a bunch of bullets instead of 1 bullet. The grenade, though, we're going to throw an object into the world. And then we're going to give it behavior. And that behavior is going to be spawn a thing. I think it's going to be a static body 3D. We may actually need to define a scene. Static body 3D. Go out there. After like 2 seconds, do a shape cast. Get everyone within 2 meters or whatever the explosion radius is, and then hurt them. 1 second. Cool. I have a grenade function and I have a grenade script and a grenade script. Neither of those are going to be a grenade. The actual like physical object. Okay. Maybe we need like a grenade handler. We'll give it like 4 grenades. And then whenever the grenade weapon shoots, it'll go to the grenade handler, say, give me a grenade. The grenade handler will be like, here you go. We will give it a position, give it a velocity, let physics go from there. Do I want to make another handler? Yeah, I do. I love making handlers so much. Grenade handler. Your job is to hold grenades. Technically, this doesn't need to be a global. I could just attach this to the inventory handler, or the ammo handler, actually. That would actually make more sense. Never mind. Throw this away, please. We'll just say ammo component. When you're an ammo component, you come with 4 grenades. This is not the ammo component. This is the grenade. Here we go. No, it should be maybe the inventory component should handle it. One of these components should hold grenades, the actual objects. It doesn't actually matter which one. It's just which one makes the most sense. The grenade handler. It's not a thing. I just invented that. It's not a thing. Let me go to the script. What components do we have? We have the health component. Well, I'm not putting them there. Can we put them anywhere else? No, I think we can just put them anywhere because there's nowhere good. Let's put them with the inventory component. And then 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be like, why did I do that? Why didn't I put them with the ammo component? Dumb. Whenever we get the weapon, if the weapon is grenades, we want to populate our doodad with var grenade array. We want to instantiate 4 grenades. So I need grenades now. That's an item. Is it? No, it's not really an item. It's an entity. Yeah. Let's make a grenade scene. This has a static body 3D. It can't be moved by external forces or contacts, but it can be moved manually by the means. Is that what I want? What do I want? Where are all the collision nodes? Oh, collision object. Here we go. Okay, so it's going to be a static body 3D, a rigid body 3D. Oh, maybe I want a rigid body 3D. Actually, this is for like walls. Yes, rigid body 3D. Oh, there we go. We need to attach a collision shape. Cool. And then that needs to have a collision shape defined. It's going to be a sphere. Could be a box. I think a sphere is easier because a sphere just has a radius and then that's it. A lot easier to optimize for. Can we go to... That might be fine. This is going to have a sprite 3D. It's not going to be anything interesting for the moment because I have a lot of sprites to define. Yes, I do. But we are going to billboard this because all things get billboarded in this game. So what else do we need? I think we need like a script behavior, but for now we'll just stop here. If we can spawn a grenade and throw it and then it just exists, that's good enough for now. Let's go back to the inventory component. We have defined grenades. Var grenade scene equals preload or load grenade. I just defined it. Packed grenade. Grenade array equals for I in range 4. Okay. Oh, I'll be right back. So we just call this provide grenade function. This should give us a grenade. What is a grenade? There it is. That's a grenade. At some point, we have to add this as a child to something, but I'm not sure. I think we have to add it as a child of the world. If we add it as a child to anything else, that means it's probably attached to the player, and when the player moves, the grenade will move, which is weird. That's actually like in Blake's Stone, the top tier weapon. I believe when you shoot the grenades out from that weapon, they actually are parented to the player. So if you move to the right, the balls also move to the right. No, that's not true. Never mind. I'm just hallucinating. Anyway, let's go back. All I have to do is call this function. We'll get a grenade. I think we need to set its position. No, we don't. We don't need to do that. We will go. Maybe we should set its position. We'll do something like that. Then we go to our weapon. We go define this behavior. We need this to be able to get a grenade. Far let's get our, we have the player. Now we have the inventory component. Dot. Provide grenade. So now I have a grenade. We need to parent it to the world, which we don't have access to from here. But I think the player.get parent.add child grenade. And then all we have to do now is give the grenade a velocity. Grenade.velocity. That should just be like cam.getBasis.something, right? Wait, if we parent this to the world, then that'll put the grenade at 0, 0, 0 in the world. And I don't want that. I want it to be at the player's position. Right. This is all jank. I'm just gonna do something and then we're gonna fix it in just a moment. I need my cast helper because how am I? It's this. the basis points us in the direction that we're facing. So times 100.0. Okay. So I don't think this will work because the grenade doesn't have move and slide happening, but assignment is not, what? Oh. Now that's fair. That's fair. That's on me. Pick up these grenades, switch to them. If I click the button, instantly crash because velocity is not a thing for grenades. Maybe this doesn't want to be a rigid body. Maybe this wants to be, oh, wait a minute. Maybe this needs to be the rigid body. And then we'll attach a script. All right. Give me the grenades. Still no velocity. All right, let's verify that this actually has velocity. All right, this is not a Node 3D. This is actually a rigid body 3D. Do rigid body 3Ds have velocity? They do, but it might not be called velocity. Okay, physics body 3Ds. All of these should just have velocity. That should just be a given. It might not be, but it should be. Maybe it's character body 3Ds only have velocity. That might actually be, because I see this move and slide function here, but I don't remember seeing that for the static body, or rigid body. I could apply force instead of setting velocity. Maybe that's fine. Instead of this, apply, okay, grenade.apply. Oh my God. Come on. Don't make me have to look up, what is it called again? Apply central force. But why did that happen? Oh, it's because I'm spawning it inside of me. Let's not do that. Plus times, I don't know, 1.0. What's the point of multiplying something by 1? Come on. I spawned it behind me. Excellent. Times negative 1.0. All right, we're almost there. So I think the force is backwards. And then let's just really crank that up because I want to see this thing. Yeah, let's give it an upward force. Okay, so first of all, const 700. Const up upward force equals vector 3, 0, 0, nope, 50, 0. How's that? Hello? Grenades? Am I upward forcing them? Oh, I'm playing out to the position. I'm dumb. Almost. Okay, more than that. More than that. I think we can just actually combine these. No, we can't because these numbers are separate. Okay. 300 upward force. And then maybe lower this a little. Too much. 200. Kind of floaty, but like that should be gravity accurate. I don't know why it's floaty. Okay, I like that it rolls around. Can I like kick it? Oh, no, I don't think I can kick it. Okay, can I just, oops, that's not the use button. There we go. I just want to test throwing it around corners. Not like that. It needs more force because I need to be able to throw it around corners. It just might be the case where I need to shrink the collision box so that it doesn't clip on corners like that. Yeah, I should just try shrinking the collision box. Perfectly fine. That's better. All right, hold on. Let me increase the force a little more. It might be too much, but let me try it. Because it's like the higher I increase the force, the less fun it's going to be to use at close range enemies, but the more fun it's going to be to use at long range enemies like that. But like, I don't know. Usually the way games address that is the amount of force that you apply is how long you hold the mouse button, and I might do that. Like that's what blood does. But that's complicated. That's complicated logic. Okay, is there a way? Oh, why did I throw a grenade when I have my baton out? Is there a way for the grenade to be like on collision with anything? Start ticking. Like if I hit an enemy, explode after half a second. Or if I hit a wall, explode after 1 second. And why am I asking myself that when I could be Googling it? Actually, before I Google it, is there a signal? Body entered, body shape, sleeping, collision object, input event. Okay, back to Google. Godot, collision, shape, on collision. how to detect collision. 3D. Stack Overflow. That's still around? Create an area 3D and make it slightly larger than the thing itself. Really? Is that really what we're doing? Because like the physics automatically is detecting collisions because that's how it's knowing when to adjust velocity. But I have to create another shape. I appreciate you talking through everything you're doing. I'm not listening exactly, but your voice is soothing to hear. You work through code problems while I'm working on my own project and also playing some music. Good coding guides. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback. I'm glad to be of help. I don't like the idea of adding an area 3D just to be like, yo, I have collided with something. Inform the grenade. I should blow up soon. I don't like that, but realistically, grenades, they're not that complicated. So it's not the end of the world if I have to do that. I would like this when we call ready. No. But what I would like to do is var. I want this to return to the inventory component when it explodes. So I need to track the inventory component. Inventory component. And then we'll create a function. Register inventory component. Component param inventory component. Inventory component equals component param. And then in the inventory component, we say the word inventory component 5 more times to make that word lose all meaning. But this is the only place we're creating grenades. So we can just grenade.register inventory component self. We'll do that here and here. We don't need to do it here because we're not creating, we're recycling. Let's go ahead and make sure that when we throw a grenade, it doesn't crash the game. Yep, it didn't crash the game. All right, great. What I would like to have happen is when we throw the grenade, we tell the grenade, yo, you've been thrown. You're on notice. And then the grenade will, after 3 seconds or after it explodes, whichever comes first, stop existing, go back to the inventory component, re-add itself to the grenade array. So let me just make a function. On exist. I don't know. Get parent dot remove child self inventory component dot add. Nope. Grenade array dot append self. Okay. So all we do is call the unexist function when we're done existing. Func tick start fuse. I guess I don't know what to call this. We're just going to call it tween. Go to tween wait time. Tween interval, that's what it is. var tween equals create tween dot call interval. No. Tween interval dot, I don't know, 3 seconds. Await tween dot complete, finished. And then we'll call unexist. We'll go back to the grenade. When we shoot this grenade, dot start fuse. Okay. So the grenades should now, we throw it and then after 3 seconds, it'll disappear. I'm glad that I could do that off screen, thus invalidating. Oh, okay. Fail. Non-existent function position in base rigid body 3D grenade. Is that really true? Oh, there's a function. That's not a function. Equals vector 3.0. Turns out position is not a function. It's a variable. It's a property. Bum, bum, 1, 2. Yeah, okay. Just, that shouldn't have happened. Hold on. What if I spam all my grenades? Wait, why did, what? No, one of those grenades disappeared prematurely. Am I insane? What's possible is that the sprite just clipped through the wall in a way that is, I don't know. But we should be able to say that this is fine. We're not dummy shooting anymore. We're actually throwing real grenades. So get that out of here. There's no world where we don't succeed at throwing a grenade. That's not true. What if we throw a grenade when we're staring at a wall? Ooh, that's a good thing to check. I'm really glad I said that out loud. Let's make sure we're not throwing a grenade into a wall. Let's do range 1.2. If result, then return cooldown. Actually, we can just return no cooldown. I don't want to throw a grenade into a wall. I'm pretty sure that'll result in grenades being thrown outside of the level, which it's not like, it won't ruin the, it won't cause the game to crash. Oh no. Oh, that ate ammo. That's no good. What? How did, what? There's something about this wall in particular that eats grenades. Should I be worried? If this happens, let's refund the ammo. Player.get node ammo component dot. Oh no, I have to use my memory to remember. Add ammo this. Give that ammo back. All right. Oh, okay. Fair. We're not throwing grenades into walls. But this is a short cast, so Basically, if there is space for the grenade to exist, make it exist. Theoretically, this should be fine. 99% of the time, the player should not be throwing grenades directly into a wall. Like, this should not, like, that should not. Okay, why does that happen? Why is this wall in particular eating my grenades? Whoa. Why did that happen? Hello? I would like to, just for testing purposes, let me get the grenade item. Give me 400 ammo instead of 4. Why is that happening? What? Something very wrong. Could it be fuse related? No, it's not. I think the grenades are going through the wall. I think the collision box is too small. Hold on, I'll be right back. What is this? Rigid body 3D. Continuous CD. Is that a parameter that I just never set? Custom solver bias. I don't want to increase this if I can help it. You know what? I'll be right back. I'll be right back. One second. I need to take a break. Okay, I think this is a problem that we can solve just by slowing things down, but I'd rather not do that. I would rather figure this out. Gravity scale, mass, solver. What is this? Continuous collision detection. Oh, maybe that's what we need. It's not the end of the world because these objects only last for 3 seconds, and presumably there should not be more than 4 on the screen at a time, unless the player is like desperate or something. Huh, yeah, no, that was it. It looks like that solved that. I did not know that that's a thing you need to enable. That's kind of silly. I would kind of expect you get that for free. That's fine. I think all that means is like it's doing a raycast. It's doing a raycast every tick. So actually, no, that is very expensive. Understandable, but yeah, we need that. I'm not getting any dud grenades, so I think that was good. Okay, now we need these things to explode. We get that explosion, we're done. No, that's not true. That's not true. The fuse is currently a timer, and I would prefer if it was collision based. We need to detect collision. Go back to Godot, or go back to Googling. Godot detect collision. 3D. Grenade. Connect it to body entered signal to detect impacts with the environment. Okay, so let me just connect this. Yo, I entered a body. Also, let me find all the prints that currently are happening and clear them up. This all works, so we don't need those anymore. Okay, great. That was it, actually. Okay, if we get our hilarious grenade launcher, which looks exactly like a pistol and shoots Godots, at no point does it enter a body. Okay, so we can't just, that's not magically the solution. This function never happens. I don't know what the contact monitor to on in the inspector. That's a thing? Oh. There it is. The thing. Exactly what I need. Yes. Disconnect. We actually only need one contact report. Okay, so we're emitting a signal now? What signal are we emitting? Connect. Reconnect that function. All right, let me go over here. Okay, so theoretically this will now detect. Is this just setting up an area body 3D on my behalf? But it's like, yo, I entered a body. Yo, we're entering that body. Okay, so here's how I want this to work. Ooh, that's a body. I want to tell the difference between hitting a character body 3D and not a character body 3D. Honestly, we could just, if mob. I'm perfectly fine with mob. Yeah, no, that's even, okay, great. So if mob, I'm actually also perfectly fine with self.collision monitor equals false. Like, I don't know how that is set up. Contact monitor, okay, contact monitor equals false. I'm perfectly fine with saying start fuse here. if body is mob, blow up, else start fuse. And then that can be like 1 second. We don't have to start the fuse anymore in the grenade logic. We can get rid of that. Oh, right. Func, we need to define that function. We can't just pass. All right, now that we have a dummy explode function, all I would like to do is have it do a shape cast. I've never done a shape cast before, but we'll figure it out. We will get everyone within range. Oh, that's not good. I think the problem is we're reusing grenades. I think the problem is we are unexisting the grenade. So we need to self.contact monitor equals true. We need to func reset fuse. Tween.stop. If tween.stop. Okay. Why is it immediately unexisting as soon as I shoot it? Why is it speed accelerating? Is there a way for me to like disable reset fuse self dot turn off physics? Like reset forces? Freeze? No, I don't want to freeze because then I'd have to unfreeze it. Constant force? Ooh, that looks fun. Maybe this whole reusing grenades thing was a dumb idea. Because I think I'm not able to clear the velocity. I have a freeze thing. Oh, no, I don't want to look at that. I want to look at this. Gravity and force are not applied anymore. Oh, inertia. I want to set inertia to 0. No, I don't want to set inertia to 0. I want to set momentum to 0. Linear velocity. Let's try setting linear velocity to 0 when we unexist. Self.linear velocity equals vector 3, 0. Okay. Okay. Okay, there's a problem. We're running into problematic behavior. I don't know. If I'm moving forward, then the thing is colliding with me. Is there a way for me to say never collide with me? Like exempt collisions. I can use a layer or a mask or an exception. Perfect. What is that? That better be real. Apply exception. Do not collide with the player. You can collide with literally everything. Oh, vehicle body 3D. That sounds cool. You can collide with literally anything else, but not the player. Okay, this claims that it exists. Yeah, I know layers and masks would be ideal, but add collision exception with node. Let's go to the grenade. No, let's actually go to the inventory component. The thing creating the grenades. Grenade dot add. Okay, hold on. Grenade dot add collision exception with player. Yeah. What do you mean identified not in this current content? What? No, there's a player. We don't know who the player is? Get parent. Oof. Okay. Now if I'm running forward, yeah. Yeah, oh, no. No. What are we colliding with? This doesn't even say we're colliding with anything. Okay, if I just... why is this happening? Can we figure this out? Okay. Reset fuse. Nope. Start fuse. Print fuse timer over. Are we hitting, are we calling this function outside of this? Yeah, that's why. No, that's commented out. That's commented out. No, that's not why. It's just, that doesn't exist. We're only calling start fuse if we collide with something. But, if if we reset the fuse, like, well, this should never happen. Oops. What? How's the fuse timer over already? What? What? Okay. Let me think about this for a second. Let me stare at this code while I wait very patiently. This grenade works. If I shoot again, this grenade should work. No, it doesn't. The fuse timer is being finished early. So, when we unexist, we reset the fuse. So we are calling this. So there's no tween happening right now. It can't be happening right now. There might not even be a tween. But we've detected a collision and we've started the fuse. Is this tween like looping or something? No, it's not, because otherwise it'd be printing fuse timer over. Okay. Oh, we've created 5 tweens. And all of them will end this fuse timer. Maybe we should stop the tween. But also this, okay, this should, I turned the contact monitor off. So this should not be triggering multiple times, but that's fine. Fuse burning, fuse active is false, okay. If fuse active, return. Fuse active is true. Fuse active is false. Okay. No longer do we have grenades disappearing literally as soon as we shoot them. No longer. All right. It's because this thing was colliding 5 times, despite the fact that this function is supposed to like make that not happen. But that's fine. This is some eldritch. This is me messing with things I don't understand. And then this function gets called 5 times. So we just don't do that. It's not permitted. So yeah, all good. Now we just need to have explosions. So we have this function. Let me think first. I need to okay, that's good. think these shots are not happening because I'm too close to a wall. Oh, cannot call method remove child on a null value. Oh no. Somehow we've ended up in a state where there's no parent. Because this hasn't been added to a parent yet. So it somehow... If it doesn't have a parent, then we don't need to remove it. I don't know how we got in that state, but... I also don't know why sometimes we're not shooting a grenade. Like, we just failed to shoot a grenade twice there. Like, what the heck? What? Yeah, what's going on? What's the dealio? Oops, no grenade. What could be happening is we are getting a grenade that is parented improperly. For some reason, maybe, I don't know, inventory component. When we get handed a grenade, when the grenade is adding itself to the inventory component, it has no child. This guarantees that, basically. If this doesn't do anything, we can just cut that. Go to our inventory component. Okay, so I think, okay. The grenade, what's happening is the grenade is exploding immediately, and we're skipping some logic that maybe we shouldn't be skipping. So we're not setting fuse active on an immediately exploding grenade. I don't see why that matters. Okay. So if I shoot grenades and never hit a mob, we're good. A+. But if I hit a mob, the grenade doesn't get recycled properly. Something is failing. Which is weird because they should be the same code except for this part. And I don't see why anything here matters. that be it? The order of this is wrong. Why didn't that work? That's mighty sus. Okay. Maybe we should put a second before. Maybe we're adding this too fast. I don't know. Tween dot. All this. Why does that make a difference? Suddenly everything works. If we just give the grenade a second before we add it to the... What if I set this interval to 0.1? That didn't shoot a grenade. That's mighty sus. Okay, it works now. I don't understand. Why does this fix that? And just to verify, nothing. Okay, yeah, I need that interval to make that work. Why? Whatever. I don't understand. That does not make any sense. This feels like a bug. A bug. It could just be like physics, though. It just could be like, well, the rigid body 3D needs half a millisecond to unload its physics when you remove its before you add it to an array. Otherwise, the array will reverse course and cause explosive decompression. I don't know. Stop talking. Let's just make this explosion work. We're going to do a shape cast. How do I do a shape cast? Godot shape cast 3D. How do I do? Create a shapecast 3D node. No, let's do it in code. Here it is, shapecast. Nope, that's not correct. I would like to create it in code. You must add the node to your scene, configure its properties. I don't have to do that for a raycast. Why do I have to do that for a shapecast? That doesn't make any sense. I should just be able to pass it the world. Here's the world. Here's a circle. Here's the position. The position is where the grenade is right now. I don't actually mind adding a shape cast to this. That's perfectly fine. I want to do it in code. I don't actually care enough. Let's make the radius 2 meters. Okay, give me that. We have a node. Set the shape property. Okay, done. Adjust the target position in the inspector to define how far the shape should check. want it to be on target. I don't want it to be below the grenade. I want it to be the grenade. This is gonna catch a lot of walls, which is whatever. It's not the end of the world. Max results 32. Oh, we may need to up that. Okay. Get collision count. I could start setting up masks and say mobs are on layer 2. We could do that. Everything's on layer 1, mobs are on layer 2. Only mobs. Not even the player. Not even the player. I'm perfectly fine with grenades that don't harm the player, because that's weirdly fun. Unusually fun. Where's my collision mask? Oh, I know it exists. There it is. We're on mask 2. We'll go to the code. We will say yo. We're not doing this. We're doing shapecast3D dot get collision count. Print. Oops. Nothing. But until now, still 0. Okay, that's not right. Collide with bodies. Oh. This won't collide with walls. Nope, I was wrong. It will collide with walls. It will collide with a lot of walls. Okay. Oh, you're not gonna... You don't work like that? I have to restart the... Zero. Nope. The mask is 2. Mobs are on the layer 2. This is not mobs. Oh, they're not on layer 2. That's why. That's why the problem. Okay, that was there. Okay, we have the collision count. So we're gonna go through everything that we've collided with as a grenade. We're gonna say, yo, you got hit by me. I need you to take some damage. How do I do that? Still waiting. Collision point 0. All right, let's look at the docks. Maybe the docks will be helpful. Shape casting, blah, 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 blah. Sweeping its shape along the cast direction, determining target position. This is similar to Raycast 3D. Immediate collision overlaps can be done with the target position and calling force shapecast update within the same physics range. This helps overcome some limitations. Get collider. Where's the one that returns all collisions? Ah, that's annoying, but all right. For I in That, oh, where did my unexist? We still need to unexist at the end of this. For I and get collision count, shapecast 3D dot. We could probably just do something like this and then shapecast. Dot collision result. Print, let's deal this guy some damage. Bye. Oh, wait, no. It should be that. Okay. Non-existent function thing I just invented. Okay, well, you know what? That's fair. Collision result is not a function. Get collider. Okay. Let's deal that guy some damage. Okay. Well, let's figure out how to do that. Var target equals shapecast get collider. And then we need to take the target's health component. Dot deal damage. How am I doing damage in other functions? Subtract health. All right. This will technically work through walls. Do I care about that? A little. What we could do to fix that is we could do, give me a raycast from the grenade to the mob. If the raycast is successful, we have a clear line. Boom. Hold on, I'll be back. Be right back. Okay. We've recycled our raycast logic. So now whenever we have the explosion explode, it will do a raycast to make sure there's line of sight to the target before damaging it. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. This is good. We just need one more thing now. We need to create a sprite that represents the explosion and then pops off. So we have this animated sprite 3D. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not the grenade. So we have this sprite 3D. We could also have an animated sprite 3D. And this would make it say play. For now, we're just going to add the Godot icon here. But we're going to make this scale up. So this thing is big. But we're also going to hide it. But when we explode, I would like the animated sprite 3D to become visible. And then we play it. And then when we unexist, let's go ahead and hide it. And we just need to make sure that we have a frame here that's blank. All right, we don't actually need to make sure of that because we're setting the visible to false and true. But we do want to await this to finish. There we go. Wait until the animation is done and then unexist. Okay. You know what? I didn't billboard it. Why isn't the animation finishing? Okay. Okay. I goofed. Let's add another frame. Oh, it's because I have on loop. Don't loop. We don't loop. We're not looping. That's not us. I will turn this down, so it'll take a second. I do need to billboard this, but I will billboard it after I have a non-placeholder because I think it's funny. Why didn't it shoot a grenade? That's real bad that behavior is happening sometimes. Okay, I think what's happening is this is actually taking 2 seconds. And I would prefer if that explosion was pretty quick. Yeah. Okay, we now have grenades. We just need to add art for them, and then we're set. Also, I need to figure out why sometimes a grenade doesn't happen. But it's like the first grenade. The very first grenade doesn't get thrown. Let me dig into that. Because, you know, I expect grenades are going to be very rare. I'm only going to give the player like 20 of them in the entire game. So, a dud is going to be really painful. Okay, so they just work. If I'm just standing still, everything is fine. What if... No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Is it because... Okay, I just saw that. It shot, but nothing happened, but... I don't know. Is it because I hit the fire button before the weapon was fully out? Yeah, I shouldn't be able to shoot while I'm swapping weapons. Maybe that's the problem. Let's go to the active weapon component. If we shoot while we are switching, if switching, return 0.0. Why don't I just... You cannot shoot while you're switching weapons. That could have been the problem. Cool, one more bug fixed. All right. Okay. So now as a map designer, I have the opportunity to try and create situations to make the player use their grenades early. Great. That is helpful. I would like to, before the end of the stream, implement the shotgun and then call it victory there. I was hoping I'd have more time, but you know, I was also expecting grenades to be complicated, so this is not unexpected. This is perfectly fine where we're at. I think grenades are done. I can't think of anything else I want to do with them aside from give them art, maybe adjust them. We're good. Maybe what I should do is, I do see when the grenade hits, the explosion happens and then it bounces around. That might be fine as is, but what if physics stops when we start exploding? So we self.freeze equals true, and then self.freeze equals false when we unexist. No, I don't like that. No, it's better. It's better to just have the explosion bouncing around. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Okay, let's get that shotgun implemented and then let's call it a day. Weapons, new weapon. Behold, it's going to be called the shotgun. it is going to have a script, as all things do. That are resources. All resources have a script. I'm gonna go ahead and slap it in there. And our shotgun is gonna look like a pistol, except for a few key differences. We're gonna go ahead and increase that to 1. Key differences for I in const. We don't return after we get a hit. We keep going. Pellets 10. Range 10. Oh, pellets. We're going to shoot a number of tracers equal to the number of pellets plus this one right here. That's it. That's the difference. It's going to do a lot more damage too, of course, but let's go to our item. We need to define the shotgun. I wish this process were automated, but oh well. We need the grenades. Take that. We can reuse the gold key thing and have the pickup auto be that on stepped on. If we don't have a weapon for, then go ahead and add shotgun. That's not technically correct because we might have the better shotgun. So we should actually, same with the grenade, we should actually check to make sure. Infwep equals let's make this fall down. All right, we have the shotgun in. Now we just need to go to the level loader and tell it to add shotguns when we tell it to. We're done. All we have to do now is actually add it to the level and then it's in. Go ahead and do that. It's going to be, I'll put it right here. Oh, first I need to enable that tile. There it is. Introducing shotgun. Can't switch to it. That's not quite right. What are we missing? So let's go to the active weapon component. No, let's not worry about that. Let's go to the other one, the inventory component. Oh, wait, hold on. There's an easier way to check this. Let's go pick this up. Let's go look at our inventory component. Does it contain? It does. There is a weapon there. All right. Are we pressing the right thing? Is the input handler handling our input? I'm going to assume yes. Can we go to here? Switch weapons. Okay. Print weapons. So if I press 4 now, it's empty. But if I press 4 now, it's empty. Okay, that's the problem. Let's figure that one out. Is it because I capitalized shotgun? Oh! Oh, it's because in the inventory component, we never defined what 4 means. That's why. Yeah, I forgot. Duh. We press the 4 button, and then the game's like, I don't know what that means. I am a computer. I only speak numbers. All right, there we go. There's our shotgun. Looks exactly like our pistol. Don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and click the button, and that should have killed. There's no way that missed. We're not that bad at aiming. Holy crap. That cannot be right. Let's make this 11-11. There's no way we're that bad at aiming. Or that unlucky. Are you kidding me? One of those should have hit. You know, what I would love is to have some sort of visible collision shapes. Show me everything. I would love to see the rate casts. Like, what are we actually hitting? I have to get within point blank to hit. No. Print collided. Okay, we should see 11. Yeah, it's all the same thing? Okay, that shouldn't happen. It should, as soon as this guy takes lethal damage, they should stop existing. They should stop having a collision. We subtract the health. We shouldn't continue until the health is subtracted. Okay, so the problem is that this offset doesn't actually work. Let me go ahead and print the basis. Should be no offset there. Oh no, there is an offset there. I don't think this function works, but I don't know how to troubleshoot it. The bases are all different. So this should be rotated. would love to visualize. Let me see. Is there like Godot raycast visualize? Use a line node and draw it from the start of the raycast to the end. Immediate mesh. So what if I create a mesh object var debug mesh? This is a thing? It changed color, so I guess that's a thing. Begin mesh.primitive triangles. So we can add a vertex, and then surface end. What is this mesh.primitive triangles? Lines. And then we're just going to have start and end. Origin and end. And then we're going to add them to the player as a child. Ah, that doesn't work. What if we just don't need to add it as a child to anything? What if it just magically would... Cannot begin method surface begin on a null value. How do I draw immediate mesh? Go to the Debug tab in Godot and check the box labeled Visible Collision Shapes. I already did that. Why isn't this... Do I need to do debug mesh.new? Yes, I do. Okay, that didn't draw anything. I was lied to. Hold on. Hold the phone. Obviously, I need to add this as a child somewhere. Are we sure this isn't right? Yeah, okay. It requires a material to be visible. If no material is assigned, it may appear as a default white or be invisible. Gonna make me define a material. What material? Standard material 3D. albedo color equals color dot 111. Done. Material. Okay. Where's the mesh? Q redraw. Godot immediate mesh example code, please. Maybe there's a step I'm missing. Create a new mesh, assign it to the mesh instance. We need a mesh instance? Oh. Var mesh instance equals mesh instance 3D.new. Get a player dot get parent dot add child. Boom. All right, there we go. Now this should start showing up. Yeah, they're all straight. They're all the exact same. No offset whatsoever. Awesome. That's not what I want. Oh, they keep going. Okay. That's fair, actually. That's actually completely fair. Why is the offset not offsetting? Oh. We've got this variable and then we're not using it. That's why. What? Invalid operand vector 3 and basis, an operator. But this is a basis. Oh, this is oh. Basis is .z. How's that? Unexpected identifier A. Oh, shoot. Okay, that was it. Just needed a big brain there. Oh, look at that spread. That spread is insane. That's 11 degrees. Are you kidding me? Hold on. The pistol one should have a more reasonable spread. It does not. What is this? (11 to 11). Maybe that's in radians. Maybe that's the problem. Raid to deg. Nope, deg to rad. Because I don't speak rad. Oh, we have to do the same for the pistol. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Okay, so if I go over here and I shoot at this guy, yeah. Oh, it draws the when I use. Cool. Okay, now let's try the shotgun. This should be pretty punchy. Yep. Okay. I think that arc is a bit wide, but I'm not mad. Oh no, it's totally fine. That's totally fine. I would like to add puff projectiles for when you hit the wall. So it'll tell you, it'll give you some feedback when you're hitting versus when you're not hitting. I don't have the graphics for that, so I don't particularly have a lot of, we'll do that next time. We'll do that next time. This is not the cast helper. There you are. Let's go ahead and just comment this function out. I get the feeling we don't want that in the future. Let's turn off all the debug. Okay, I guess we have to restart. That's a shotgun. That's a grenade launcher. Or it's not a grenade launcher, it's just grenades. All right. I do want to implement more weapons. I want to implement a rapid fire version of this, but I'm out of time. I don't want to push myself. So I'm going to stop here. This is a good place. We got the weapons implemented, the basic weapons. That gives us a little bit more room for map making. We need to implement new mobs because having the same mob is boring. And also, they all die in one hit. So there's no point. The pistol, there's no upgrade from the pistol to the shotgun until we build that up. I don't know what to work on next, but let me go ahead and click here. Done, done, done. There's a lot of items that I want to implement. They should be pretty simple, relatively simple. And some of these are pretty vague. Gravity flipper is, I'm kind of about, but like it theoretically should be pretty easy to flip the player's gravity and to flip the player's viewpoint 180, or not 180, but just put you on the ceiling and then you can just walk on the ceiling. Maybe do an entire level like that. That might be more interesting than, I don't know. Flashlight, oh yeah. There's a lot here. Mostly monsters, so good luck to me. I'm gonna stop here though. Let me hunt down where I can send you all. Someone else doing a different game jam. Sure. Why not? All right. With that in mind, thanks everybody for watching. Hope this was good. Hope y'all are having a lot of luck with your games out there too. Thank you everybody for watching. Play lots of games, have lots of fun. See you all next time.